Capitals penalty number 9, Dimitri Orlov, 2 minutes for tripping. Family penalty, 23 seconds. Capitals penalty number 9, Dimitri Orlov, 2 minutes for tripping. Time to change penalty for 23 seconds.
Caps staving off the initial Detroit power play. A couple of shots on goal. There's a third. As Vanacek covers long enough for the whistle.
They had some pretty good looks moving that puck around, and this is a Capitals team that has allowed a PPG in 4 consecutive games. That's a side of their game they want to get rolling along with their power play. Here's that quick looking shot, a good dart right in the slot by Suter. It's a young guy that can fire the pill. Nice blocker pad save, and I loved where it was put, right into the corner. In front of the net, they're going to be having a guy hanging out, and he gets run over, courtesy of Faravari and a Red Wing forward.
Vitek is spending a lot of time working on rebound control, having pucks hit him softly, absorbing those initial shots.
And then placement, right? That was beautifully done with the blocker.
So we're back to 5-on-5. Approaching the 3-minute mark, 0-0. Top of the screen, you're seeing Jeff Blashill's forward line combinations. Red Wings putting Filip Hronek back in on the defensive end.
Was a healthy scratch the previous 2.
Very unusual for your ice time leader to come out of the game as a healthy scratch. Slot area. Greiss made a good save there on Oshie.
Love it. That's where TJ Oshie is at his best. We looked at that in our open, getting those greasy, grimy goals, and there he's right on the spot. Just didn't elevate it over the catching net. Nice play by McMichael. The lucky bounce finds TJ, and the way he's able to move laterally, gets away from the defender and forward, and able to get a good look, the Caps' best chance.
It must be me. Al Koken called 3 goals for TJ the other night. Our thanks to Al for stepping in more than capably. Appreciate it. Oshie with a hat trick, the 5th such of his career.
And you're feeling much better?
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of.
You have nothing to do with it, as Greiss will cover. Net-minding matchup plays out like this.
Thomas Greiss against Vitek Vanacek. Thomas Greiss, a veteran. They wanted to solidify their goalie situation. Nice start for him. 2-1, 2.80, 9.14. And Vitek has been spectacular. Look at those numbers. 2.05, 9.20, 2-0-1. A little bit bumpy against Calgary. That's been his only really blemish so far this season.
Vanacek, 25-year-old from the Czech Republic. First time he's ever faced Detroit in NHL regular season play. McMichael finds Mantha, the former wing. Snapshot towards the goal. That's sailed wide. McMichael hunting it down on the backboards. Oshie plays it on top. Schultz looking for Van Riemsdyk. Sweep it around the corner boards. Anthony Mantha locked up swiftly there. Oshie in a scrum. Mantha coming to it along with Mark Stahl. The veteran defender wears 18 in the white as the Red Wings clear.
The Red Wings want to have a little more offensive puck this season along with better defense. Last year they allowed 171 goals against, right near the bottom. They're trying to shore up both ends of the ice, going with youth, going with some young guys that weren't expected to make their lineup this season.
Kuznetsov hits the seam. Kuznetsov to his backhand. Ran out of racetrack there. Leddy closing in on him. Another former wing is Nick Jensen. Cross ice taking that relay from Orlov. Jensen sidesteps the rookie Raymond. Lets it go. Stopped by Greiss. And he'll cover. This player resume brought to you by Indeed. And Anthony's previous hockey life was in Detroit.
302 games, 95 goals, 68 were even, 27 on the power play, 194 points combined, and 10 game-winning goals. During his time in Detroit, he had a 24 and a 25-goal season, exactly what the Caps are looking for from him this year. 20 to 35 is the type of number you need from Anthony Mantha.
Red Wings arrived in town recently, and Mantha had dinner with a few of his buds last night.
Including his former line mate, Larkin. They really worked well together.
Larkin, Rasmussen was there as well as Fabry. Through center, it's Lars Eller. Eller at the line. Hendricks Lapierre to the corner to help out. There's Connor Sherry. Sherry, skip it to Faravari. Wrist shot from Carlson, knocked down in front. There was a big screen ahead of the netminder Greiss.
I love the fact that there was two guys in red right in front of him. Lapierre, the youngster, along with Lars Eller, and that's what you need to do against a veteran goaltender. If Eller would have seen Lapierre, he was wide open on a 2-on-1. Just couldn't shovel the backhand to the streaking Capital youngster.
There he is. 19-year-old Lapierre played just under 8 minutes a couple nights ago at Canadian Tire Center.
Shifting from center to wing. Get a lot of opportunities. He's a smart player.
Healthy scratch tonight, Daniel Sprong, as Van Riemsdyk's wristers right to the mitt of Greiss.
Nothing there in front of Thomas Greiss, and he's able to gobble that puck up. That's exactly what they want. They don't want rebounds coming off him. Jeff Blashill, a former goaltender in his own right. His 7th season as a Red Wing. Grew up close to Lake State, and the Lakers back in the day used to be his favorite team to watch.
47-year-old head coach of the Wings. Watching Rasmussen win that draw. They propel back through center. 5-on-5. Just past the 5-minute mark of the first. Nothing on the board. Washington already with 1 penalty kill against Detroit. Ernie forces the takeaway. Rolls it back on top. Sider sends it south of the goal line. Ernie, quick relays, a beautiful pass. Rasmussen, stonewalled by Vanacek. Caps looking to clear. Long drive to Kaiser. Broken up in front. Kuznetsov bats it ahead. Ernie twists it back around.
Rasmussen got a little tied up because he didn't realize he was that tight to the goaltender. And when you're about 6'8" on skates, he didn't find any room for himself.
Kuznetsov picks up Ovechkin. Ovechkin, who started the day, tied for the goal-scoring lead in the NHL with the likes of Mangiapane and Lindholm, who we saw recently with Calgary.
Mangiapane, what a year he's had.
Leading the league in goals.
Unbelievable.
He should take a snapshot of that and save it for posterity.
Absolutely.
Show his grandkids. Yeah, look. Scrappy, hustler.
Played great against the Caps.
Great story. Great story. Zadina. Nice pass. Fabry from the angle. Denied there by Vanacek. Jensen takes the rebound to safety. And Nick Jensen will clear it in. Greiss will slow it up. Greiss, in his last dozen decisions, he's allowed 2 goals or less in 10 of those. He was punctured for 5, though, by Montreal in his last performance. Orlov, fancy moves at the attacking line. Orlov connecting the dots with Garnet Hathaway. Roll it for Hagelin. As Nick Dowd is there in hot pursuit. Dowd returns to the lineup tonight. On the go. Red Wings in the attack. Buzzed wide. Rebound chance there. Just chopped away from a hard charging Mitchell Stevens. Counter punching. Carlson lets it fly. Stabbed by Grice. 7 minutes and 12 seconds into the contest. Washington and Detroit 0-0 with exceptional work from Vitek Vanacek. TJ Oshie.
It was great seeing him strike for 3 goals against Ottawa. He had just 1 goal coming into that game against the Rangers, the first of the year. That one far side. This one sort of tells you what TJ's all about. Gets a little toe help at the far side, but the Hattie, his 5th of his career against the Ottawa Senators.
Oshie out on the ice right now, looking to score against Detroit. His first ever NHL goal came against the Red Wings while he was a member of the St. Louis Blues back in 2008. McMichael being excused from the faceoff dot. 7 minutes, 12 seconds into the contest. The shots on goal are 6-5 in favor of Washington. Mantha tied up with Hronek. Leddy will reverse. Nick Leddy snaps it out there. Faravari defending for Washington. Martin Faravari turning deeper into his own zone. Mantha there to help as a safety valve. Swing it to the slot area. Stevens was pickpocketed. And this is played back to center. On the rewind, Giovanni Smith. Smith one-on-one against Carlson. Forces him to the angle. Smith plays it back to a vacant point. And the Red Wings need to regroup. Stetcher on the hand-along. Smith turned back by Faravari. Even in full strength, 8 minutes into the contest. Stetcher plays it out there. Another of the top talents to emerge from North Dakota collegiately. Stetcher better hot-foot it there. LaPierre putting on some speed. Stahl crosses over to make the play. Larkin's pass too far. Orlov teaming up with Eller. Jensen through center. LaPierre. Hendricks LaPierre settles. Gets double-teamed. Bertuzzi looking to go the other way. Bertuzzi closing in. Swivels one to the slot. Raymond looks for one more to Larkin. That was blocked away by Jensen.
And Bertuzzi something, because he's old school, as Alan May was talking about, the long locks, everything going for him. He looks old school, just the way he plays, and that was a real strong play to elude his former teammate, Nick Jensen.
Do old school guys have 4-goal games? I guess so.
No.
Bertuzzi had 4 against Tampa earlier this season. Ernie, former Lightning Bolt, plays to Bertuzzi, marked there by his former teammate Jensen. Sider sweep it from point to point. DeKaiser sends it down low. Jensen took a rough run there. Dmitry Orlov didn't get it out just yet. Ovechkin battling on the boards, and this one will squirt back into the Detroit zone. DeKaiser, a little bit more than, what, a year removed from back surgery? Seems to be performing better.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's playing a lot for Blashill, trying to get his legs and back into the groove. Certainly a back surgery is going to set you back some. They need him to be Danny DeKaiser of old, because he's a good defenseman. He's got good size, good reach, and can skate for a big fella.
The initial back injury was a couple years ago. Fabry cross rink. The carom to a waiting Hathaway, and it starts him sprinting the other direction. Garnet Hathaway lowering the shoulder. Hronek forced into the boards. Play it on around for Trevor Van Riemsdyk. Getting away from Pius Suter. Hagelin off the cycle. Dowd is next. Nick Dowd managed to keep that one in. No, he didn't. He stick-handled it back to center and trapped 4 of his mates offside. More than halfway home in this opening period. 0-0 in D.C. Back downtown right after this.
Take away the middle of the ice. We're giving them too many, like you said, quality chance from in the zone there. All 5 guys got to come back to that house, stop, and make sure we do a better job of clearing guys out of the front of that net.
Our thanks to Kevin McCarthy.
We appreciate the input, Coach. Thanks, Al. Yevgeny Kuznetsov digging in on the draw. Pius Suter is a 25-year-old native of Switzerland who was just kicked out of the dot. Lockery played 5 years full in the Swiss League, never drafted.
And very surprising that the Hawks let him walk. He had 14 goals and 27 points for them last season.
Kuznetsov hooks away from his Vanacek looks for Faravari, matched up with Suter. Red Wings in the visiting whites, making their only visit to DC this season. These two teams will see each other in early November, November 11th to be specific, at Little Caesars Arena. Flipped in by Fabry, wide of Vitek Vanacek in the cage tonight. Vanacek with 5 stops under his belt. Kuznetsov motors into the zone. Yevgeny Kuznetsov, there's Ovechkin, cuffed down by Grice. Rebound from the sharp angle. Kuznetsov with Velcro on that stick. Plays it for Jensen. Work it down low. Orlov's going to creep in from point position. Beaten to the punch there by Dylan Larkin. Caps in the middle of a line change. It's an uncontested clear for Larkin, the Red Wing captain, racing through center.
And a good line change at that, because they wanted their checking unit out against the Larkin trio after that Ovechkin and Kuznetsov group was on against them.
Jensen turns, finds Hathaway. He'll boot it to the wing for Hagelin. Locker, how difficult is it for coaches to play that matching game? I know you have the last change at home, but it seems like it's a difficult chess match at times.
It is on the fly like this when you're making sure, because you don't want to take away Kuznetsov, Ovechkin, and Wilson when they're out there, but they have to realize when they're on the ice and when the unit that's supposed to come on so they don't stay out over a minute. That's the key.
Raymond's a really good shooter. He tested Vanacek there, who made the save with a goalie stick. 7:55 to go in the opening period. 0-0 in Washington. Leddy on the button to Gagne. Gagne throwing some snow at Schultz. Leddy's long drive sails wide of the cage. Hronek paddles it to the corner. Gagne keeping it moving. Hronek waits for the screen to develop. That pass is deflected. It'll chase the Wings back onto their side of center. Gagne connecting with Hronek. Philip Hronek, just 23 years of age.
Led this Red Wing team in points last season and was a healthy scratch here a couple of games before he gets back in the lineup. When what Blasher said is we've got 8 very competent NHL defensemen. You've got to battle to win your spot. And he elected to go with other players rather than him.
No Gustav Lindstrom tonight, nor Jordan Osterley. This one to the corner.
I've always liked Osterley. He just hasn't got a crack at the lineup yet so far.
Osterley playing with his 4th different team. Vanacek getting pressure there from Nemesnikov on the backboards. Rasmussen is locked up in the corner with McMichael. Time ticking in period 1, 6:45 to play in the opening stanza. Ernie busting it after Carlson. Stahl came crashing in from the point, and still the Caps able to clear it on down. Just enough pace to be icing against Washington.
You should get the PenFed Power Cash Rewards card!
I hear it's got no annual fee! PenFed lets me earn on all my jumps.
Earn up to 2% cash back on purchases, whether you're in uniform or not.
It's a Capitals team that starts this 21-22 season with 6 of the first 8 here at home. So far they've won 2 and they've lost 2 in overtime in this building. Entertaining the Red Wings tonight. Arizona Coyotes on the horizon for Friday. On the go, Oshie one-on-one. Oshie waits, finds the man walking in. Snapshot there from McMichael. Raymond rolls it to center. Jensen pouncing on that, gave it up. Raymond works in one-on-one on the drop to Bertuzzi. Beautiful passing. Right on in, it's snapped high by DeKeyser. Bertuzzi looking back towards the point again. That one winds up in the Washington bench.
Like it hit an arm of one of the Caps there before it went over. Bertuzzi and company putting some heat on the Caps so far in the first.
No red lights to this point in the contest. Vitek Vanacek back with more. Souvenir time in the stands.
Tap pass down to Kuznetsov on the doorstep. Beautiful drop pass to Faravari. And the best pass, I think, this season from Tom is this one against Ottawa on Monday. Sauce and heat right to OV for a snipe. He's been dishing that puck around all season long.
At Hyundai, the longer you look, the more there is to like. Visit your local Hyundai dealers today. Tom Wilson with all those helpers. Tied for first when it comes to ±2 in the NHL. Nobody's on the board just yet. If you're just tuning in with us, A little bit past the bottom of the hour with the Caps on NBC Sports Washington Plus and all around the country on NHL Network tonight. A dump in from center. Stahl appeared to be hit with a high stick. No call from the officials as Van Riemsdyk sends it on through center for Sherry. Straightened up there on the hit from Stetcher. You watch play continue in the corner, now back behind the goal. Leddy gets forced by LaPierre. Fabry let it come on through, and Van Riemsdyk gathers for Washington at center.
Leddy makes such a difference to the Detroit Red Wings. His leadership, his knowledge of the game, he's just so cerebral and smooth that he gets him out of a lot of trouble in a hurry.
Zadina one-on-one against Carlson with help from Farivari there. Whenever we've seen Leddy, smooth is a great word for it. Smooth and powerful. That stride is amazing. On target, nice send in for Ovechkin. Alex to his backhand. Great look there to the slot area. It came right through the paint with Wilson looking to chop it home.
He learned that from Kuznetsov, his centerman, coming out that short side.
Ovechkin getting back in a good defensive position to help with the takeaway as the fans get involved this Wednesday night inside of Capital One Arena. Ovechkin cruising in. Looks for a relay there laterally that was blocked by Rasmussen. Ovechkin can try it again. All the way to the point. Jensen lets it fly wide of Grice. Orlov pivots, takes it away from Ernie. Crisscrossing there with a Jensen long-range drive. Stopped by Grice. Rebound cleared easily by Nemesnikov.
Capitals need to get second and third opportunities. Grice is in a zone right now, and everything's just hitting him cleanly. They haven't followed up with 7, 2, and 3 looks after the initial shot. They're going to have to do that, it looks like, against Thomas tonight.
Grice is 10 for 10 in this opening period. McMichael poke check by Smith. Jensen will try it again with help from Orlov, who skies one into the corner. Sider plays it around the turnstile. Smith bookended along the boards. Red Wings able to play clear only to center. A rewinding Oshie on the entry. Oshie on the drop. McMichael fires. That was blunted. Oshie tries to find the youngster again on a backhander that goes wide. McMichael with Oshie and Mantha tonight. Connor McMichael stapled along the boards there. Nice job defensively. Oshie was cut down. This is going to be a Washington power play. A delayed penalty call. Vanacek on his way to the bench. 6 attackers on in red with 3 minutes to go in the period. Delayed penalty against Detroit. Kuznetsov will wind it up. Schultz skipping through center. Looks back for Ovechkin. Challenged by Larkin. Wilson protecting it. Ovechkin changes the point of attack. Out of the reach of Van Riemsdyk. Touchdown by Detroit. And the Wings go shorthanded for the trip.
Good work by TJ Oshie and his line mates. They created havoc for the first time in this period on the forecheck. And it forces Gagne to take a minor penalty. Here's a nice work down low. He tries to come out short side. Ala Kuznetsov, the overhead version, goes right past and through the paint. Some good looks. Follow up by McMichael. Gets a shot. TJ working down below the net once again. Mantha on the doorstep, just couldn't hammer it in. That stick in the way of everything happening in front and just doesn't go in. But it's all TJ. Puck control. Gagne's covering the defenseman in that no-man zone and chops down TJ for the Capitals power play.
Capitals are mired in a power play drought. They go Sherry, Oshie, Kuznetsov, Ovechkin, and Carlson to start things late in the period. Locker, when the ice is bumpy late in the frame on the power play, what do you try and do?
A little more mustard on the passes. They can't be soft passes. You got to snap the puck when it's rough like this late in the period.
Oshie to the end boards, but the Caps were in there early. That was offside against Washington.
Yeah, the power play's got to pick it up a notch. You talk about a little bit of a drought, 0 for 15 and -2. They've allowed 2 shorthanded goals. They've got to be on the right side of the ledger. They're getting away with it early on in the season where they're 4-0-2 because of the power of their 5-on-5 play so far.
Detroit, a winner. You can see what the power play has done so far this season. They were terrific early on against the Rangers. They have cooled significantly. Detroit beat Chicago at United Center 6-3 on Sunday. They allowed a PPG to Dominic Kubalik. Sherry and Kuznetsov working on the outside. Interior, Oshie blocked. That one stung as it hit Hronek in the right hand.
I'm glad he took that shot, though, because that graphic we just showed sort of tells you why they're not connecting. Only about a shot per power play. When this power play is pumping, they're getting 3 and 4 shots each time they have the extra man.
Sherry through center at the attacking line, scoops it into the corner. Played to the boards by Rasmussen and cleared on out by Nemesnikov. 1:35 separating us from Integrate Intermission Live. Turn things over soon to Alexa Landistoi and Alan May. This 0-0 hockey game with the Caps out shooting the Wings 11-6. Eller looking for his first of the season, pops it in the corner. Mantha there along with Lars. Who's going to win the puck battle? Kept in by Washington. Cross rink, Ovechkin. Long way from the cage. Schultz will work it outside. They put some motion into the power play setup. Final minute of the period. Mantha, Eller, backdoor, great save, rebound, score! Alex Ovechkin.
Ovi just stayed with it because that was a spectacular save by the goaltender Greiss. But watch Ernie right in the middle of the street. See him pointing down there? He's pointing to the defenseman, to Kaiser, that he's allowing Ovi to come back door because he was covering him. Watch Ernie right in the middle. There it is, the point. De Kaiser didn't read that. That allowed Ovi to get open for a fraction of a second, and watch where the pass goes. Here's Ernie. He knows Ovi's down. He says, De Kaiser, you got him. 2 shots. The second one off the rump and in. Ovi on the board. 1-0 Caps.
Alex Ovechkin with tallies in 6 of his first 7 games this season. Washington gets the jump on Detroit. That is a PPG. Eller on the primary assist. Bertuzzi looking for Dylan Larkin. Larkin back to Bertuzzi. Fires a good pad save by Vanacek, and the rebound spit back out to center. With 33 seconds to go in the period, Hronek in back with Leddy. Leddy has been a mentor to this young defense corps for the Wings since joining them, formerly of the New York Islanders and Chicago Blackhawks. Larkin putting a bump onto his buddy Jensen there. Larkin elevates that pass for Bertuzzi. 12 seconds in the period. Raymond comes to get it. Impressive rookie, gets buried along the boards, and too rudely, Dowd is going to the sin bin.
Well, Hathaway gets involved trying to get an even up call. They'll have a power play on a clean sheet of ice when this period is over. For Ovi, 4 now to pass Brett Hull. 4 now to pass Dave Anderchuk. His 271st power play, his 738th goal, as Dowder will go to the sin bin. Left side of the screen in his office, but he sneaks down. It wasn't detected by the forward, but not the defense. And 2 for $1, and Ovi gives the Caps a 1-0 lead. And there you'll see where he's at. 4 to pass Dave Anderchuk all time in PPGs. Anderchuk did it differently. He was a guy that did it in about 10 to 15 feet outside the goal crease, in tight. Great big man with great hands. Ovi has done it so many different ways in his career.
Anderchuk was so hard to move.
Oh,
right?
my God, yeah.
He got position on defenders. They were locked up.
He was like Tim Kerr back in the day.
I remember
very
Tim
similar,
Kerr.
very, very similar.
3.6 to go in the period. 1-0 Washington. Caps get the draw, and they'll retire to the dressing room after 20, the 1-goal leader.
And the Red Wings had some good opportunities early, but the Capitals clamped down and really put some rubber on Thomas Greiss. And finally, the power play that had an 0 for 15 funk strikes for the Caps, and that's the difference in the first.
The guys will get some refreshments. They'll catch their breath between periods 1 and 2. We will do likewise. Nice to have you on board. Caps and Wings, 1 of 5 on the NHL slate this Wednesday evening. Alex Ovechkin with some stick-to-itiveness after that phenomenal first stop. He banks one in. Integrate Intermission Live to the studios. Alexa Landistoi and Alan May. It's a Wednesday night in Washington, D.C. We're 1/3 of the way through regulation. Washington on top by 1. Caps fans, Xfinity Mobile delivers fast nationwide 5G on the most reliable network. Save on your wireless bill with Xfinity Mobile. Craig Laughlin, one on the board, and you can guess who it came from.
It's on the power play, and it's the Great 8. 271st PPG. Wonderful pass from Eller in his 1,204th game. Andrew Chuck, he's 4 to pass him. He did it in 1,639 games. Beautiful 30-foot pass plus to Alex Ovechkin off the stick of Lars Eller.
With the help of a little NHL Edge technology on the league leaderboard, brought to you by Toyota. Check this out for guys age 36 or older.
Through the first 7 games, Ovi 8, tied with Maurice the Rocket Richard of the 57-58 Montreal Canadiens. He had 8. That year, he scored his 500th goal, did the Rocket, early on in October for the Montreal Canadiens. The first ever to do that in NHL history. Dickie Moore actually led the team at season's end. He ended up with 36, just ahead of the Rocket.
That's Craig Laughlin. I'm Joe Beninati. He's Alex Ovechkin. He has Washington one better than Detroit. As we begin play in the second period, the Caps are a man down. Spill over on a late first period penalty against Nick Dowd. Ovechkin with tallies in first of 6 of his 7 games. Had the 2-goal performance against Ottawa on Monday. Leddy ready to start the breakout for Detroit in the white sweaters. Red Wings will host Florida on Friday, the same night the Caps entertain the Arizona Coyotes. Van Riemsdyk kicks one back behind the cage. Jensen pouncing on it for Washington. Tracked down there by Zadina. Van Riemsdyk off the window and back to center.
Great job by the D, wheeling out of that mess.
Wilson turns right on in. Wilson to the forehand. Didn't pull the trigger in time. The Caps lead the league early on this season in shorthanded goals.
Nice power. If you got the puck, go for it. And he only had one D back, able to wiggle his way around that. Just couldn't get the handle coming across the laterally in front of the cage.
Carlson and Wilson wrestling in the corner, and it's Tom Wilson who will send it the length of the pond. 1 minute down in the second, 1-0 Washington. Still 50 seconds on the man advantage for the guys from the Motor City. Larkin zips his way through center. Bertuzzi's next. Centering pass deflected away. Raymond collects. The 19-year-old rookie gets it topside. Fabry looking for Raymond again. Sider. Raymond. Sider straight away. Screen develops. Man advantage another 28 seconds. Switch it for Larkin. Sider closing. Lets it go. Wide of Vanacek. Rebound. Sharp angle. Larkin, the captain, was knocked down to the deck. Sider keeps it alive. Hounded there by Hathaway, and it's Carlson who clears.
Yeah, Sider didn't realize he was on his backhand and didn't realize that Carlson snuffed that play out. He knew it was coming down the wall, quickly took it away from their young D.
A Wednesday night on ice with the NHL on NBC Sports Washington Plus and all around the country on NHL Network. So glad to have you aboard. Red Wings did not get a shot on that man advantage. They remain 1-0 trailing Washington on enemy ice. Kuznetsov feeds for Schultz. Schultz plays it out wide. A little bit too strong for Ovechkin. Hronek spots Nemesnikov through center. Vlad Nemesnikov going to the goal now. Vitek Vanacek with 7 saves to his credit. Gagne looking to Rasmussen, knocked out of the air by Kuznetsov. He didn't clear. Gagne hide and seek below the goal line. Pressure comes from Schultz. Rasmussen deals it back to Stetcher. Slapper on the way, an easy save there for Vitek Vanacek. Cleaned up by Kuznetsov, and Washington will roam through center. Ovechkin trying to play wing to wing. Rasmussen in the way for Detroit. Gagne hemmed along the boards by Schultz. Lasho making a change on the go for Detroit. Smith gets involved. Fourth line winger getting a jersey ahead of Carter Rowney tonight.
And Carter Rowney scored last game for this Detroit team. They've got a lot of depth, both up front and on the blue line.
Stahl will clear it in. Mark Stahl, who played 13 seasons in the Ranger organization. Stevens will sweep it on around. Stahl's not going to get there in time. He'll have to chase it back into his own zone. LaPierre right after him for Washington. Healthy scratch tonight in the forward ranks for the Caps is Daniel Sprong. Eyebrows raised after that.
His ice time has gone down the last 3 games to a low last game of under 8 minutes against the Senators.
Matt Irwin held out along with another former Red Wing and Dennis Cholowski. Sherry's pass came right through the goal mouth. On the move through center, it's Ernie. Ran right into Carlson. Bats it along, quick turning and burning. Eller right on in. Eller to his forehand. He was fouled. Penalty call coming up here. Flip to the front. Is it a 2-minute minor or is it a penalty shot?
Could have been either. I think they're going to give him a 2-minute minor, but I thought, like you, that Eller had daylight there, and it was a semi-breakaway, and he lost the handle right at the end.
Referee Blandina makes the assessment.
Detroit penalty number 65, 2 minutes, hooking.
And it's going to be DeKaiser right at the end of that play. Nice pump from Wall to the middle, and there's a little hook from behind there on Lars Eller. To me, that could have been a penalty shot. It's a breakaway. Here comes the stick, and he clips his hand. They actually get the guy on the far side, DeKaiser's. I think they're forward. Stevens got him first on the glove, and then the hook from DeKaiser, and the Caps go to the power play.
Sherry, Oshie, Kuznetsov fires, he scores! Yevgeny Kuznetsov!
Fifth of the year for Kuzi, and it is a sweet shot off the draw. TJ Oshie wins it. Good work by everybody on that play, including Connor Sherry. 4 seconds in the box for DeKaiser, and that baby 5-hole. He's had a more of a shoot-first mentality this season, getting more shots on net. The fans love the bird. Selly, he's got his 5th of the season.
Kuznetsov with points in 5 of 7, with goals in 4 of 5. Drinking it all in. I'll have what he's having so far this season. 2-0 Washington.
I think the coaching staff's going to like that work off the face-off. Everybody was involved. TJ will get an assist, Sherry will get an assist, and Kuzi, of course, the goal. But it was 3 men working in a tight area that worked on that power play.
Mantha looking to wrap after being set up beautifully there by McMichael. Long wrister sails wide of Grice. Another centering pass to the high slot. Mantha snapped it high and well wide. Oshie back to point position. That was a tough catch for Van Riemsdyk. He and Schultz will retreat.
I like this trio. They look good in Ottawa, and they're looking good once again tonight. I'm not sure the coaching staff will mess with this trio. I think Mantha brings a lot to the table, and you have Connor McMichael working up the middle. He's been solid, and then you have TJ, who's a hound on the puck.
And then, as a result, you move LaPierre to the wing. How do his responsibilities change?
I think it's a little easier, to be perfectly honest with you. As a winger, you're in charge of the defenseman mostly in your own zone, although they do play a lot, and sometimes he's going to have to come back and support the D, much like a center, but he already knows how to do that.
Fans serenading Kuznetsov, last man on the board. The Caps with a couple of power play goals and a 2-0 lead. Suter knifing in, looking for Larkin. That's deflected. On the back check, McMichael funnels it along for Oshie. Connor McMichael closing in. A wrist shot that rang off of the defense of Mo Sider. DeKaiser glides out of his own zone. Puts the pass out there wide. Lucas Raymond, the 19-year-old rookie who jumped into the spot of former Cap Jacob Vrana. After Vrana was injured, 10 minutes into training camp.
Opportunity knocks, and Jake the Snake's going to be out probably for 3 months with that shoulder surgery.
Jensen headmans it along to Orlov, and this is offside Washington on the attack.
I like that they're in attack mode here to start the second period. The Capitals are pretty dominant in the second periods overall. They've outscored teams 11-4, and it continues here for Peter Laviolette's team. See Kuzi always smiling. You know, we talked about that earlier on in the season. He's got a smile back and the love of the game. Yeah, I mean, he just wants to really have a fantastic season, and it's really apparent the way he goes on the ice, wanting to be out there, wanting to have the puck. It's so easy to see a guy that's enjoying the game.
Capitals have clicked on their last 2 shots on net. Ovechkin at 19:05. Kuznetsov early on in the second. Sherry gets the lone assist for the moment on that power play goal as Gagne hovers below the goal line, tries to stuff it on Vanacek. Vitek met him at the post. Kuznetsov drifting out of the corner, ran into trouble there. Smith, his pass claimed by Ovechkin. Quick relay for Wilson. 4-on-2 as the Caps get up into the flow. To the front. That pass just deflected away from Kuznetsov. Faravari has it at the point. Ovechkin midpoint. Around the horn for Carlson, who rotates down. Wilson took a bump from Stetcher. Wings able to clear. Gagne fidgets through center. Picks up Mark Stahl. Stahl turned back by Carlson. stays with it. 5-on-5 play here, just shy of the 7-minute mark in period 2. Neat moves from Larkin. Leddy closing. Nick Leddy drifts it on around to Bertuzzi. Hronek towards the cage, chested down by Vitek Vanacek, and then Hronek not there in time to keep that in. It'll come all the way back. Icing washed out. Hagelin trying to force Hronek out from behind the cage. Leddy takes over that position, beginning the control breakout for Detroit. Taking his sweet time. Nick Leddy elects to lob it. Gloved down by Jensen. His aerial for Dowd goes unanswered. Leddy gracefully from wing to wing. Good takeaway. Hathaway closing. Hathaway fires. That's blocked by Leddy over top of the cage.
Excellent job by Dmitry Orlov, taking away time and space in the neutral zone. Good support coming back as a 5-man unit.
Jensen and Dowd shuffle into the corner. This one comes around for Raymond. Raymond not able to get it through Orlov on the first try. Did on the second. Dmitry recovers, goes right back to the offensive work, then gave it up. This could be an odd man rush for the Wings the other way. Larkin met there by Nick Jensen. Bertuzzi settles. His pass was forced. Hathaway propels it to the boards, and the Wings are in the middle of a change.
First real opportunity the Wings have had odd man style, because the Caps have been pretty buttoned up with their 3rd man high. There, Orlov, just too many little moves inside the blue line, got everyone stuck in the zone. It was a quick 2-on-1. Jensen, thank goodness, came across and immediately attacked the puck carrier.
Low bridge for Ilya Samsonov, the backup goalie on the Washington bench, with a puck out of play. Kuznetsov making friends, lobbing a souvenir after his power play goal has made it 2-0.
First 6 games, they've been unreal with Alex Ovechkin and company. There it is. 3rd overall all-time in franchise history. The 87-88 team at 28, 88-89 at 27. And there are the Caps coming into this game with 26. A real good start to them offensively.
Speaking of starts, the Caps have had the first intermission lead in 5 of their 7 games this season. They did so tonight against visiting Detroit, 1-0 thanks to Ovechkin. Kuznetsov's piled on with a power play goal here in the second. 2-love for the guys in the red sweaters. Washington with his homestand against Detroit and Arizona before making their way to the Sunshine State. A couple of tough teams awaiting in Florida these days. Nemesnikov turns. Keep it on the boards for Sider. Get it right back. Nemesnikov flushed out by McMichael. Mantha watching this one tumble back out to center. Clear in. Vanacek giving the marching orders as the puck rolls all the way towards TJ Oshie. You look at him peeking down the dasher. Nemesnikov, nice feed. Backhand to the forehand to the front. They score. It's Ernie with a slam dunk.
Their first real good forecheck where they kept the pucks alive and kept the Caps in front of Vitek Vanacek moving around, and then he finds himself wide open. He's a guy that we know from Tampa Bay back in the day. He played over 100 games there, and there you see the swarm, but then you see a man wide open, and a puck comes right through. He's actually lucky that that pass did not hit from Hronek, did not hit the skate of TBR. It rolled right to the man going to the net. That's Ernie, and he's got his 2nd goal of the season. And as you called it, Joe B, a layup indeed. No mistake, it's 2-1.
26-year-old Connecticut native Adam Ernie, who leads the Red Wings in hits this season so far. That earlier tally of which Locker speaks came against the Columbus Blue Jackets. He's cut Washington's lead in half as the Caps are whistled offside.
Trying to chip that puck in, just hit the D-man. Well, they're hanging around against the Caps and Connor Sherry. Connor Sherry looking for his first goal of the season. Last game on Monday, he had as low as far as ice time. He was under 11.5 minutes.
Sherry with helpers against the Rangers and the Senators this season. As we pan the bench,
The wing wheel's still pretty sweet, isn't it?
yeah, hard to beat that crest of those original 6 teams. Slick uniforms. Pius Suter hits the brakes. Tried to funnel that one to the slot area. Protecting was Wilson. Long stretch as Kuznetsov tried to finagle his way around the defense. Red Wings will capture. Hronek gets the primary assist on the Ernie goal. He'll loft this back into the Washington zone. Caps ice time leaders John Carlson leaving for Farivari, around the wall and out. Wilson putting a flame under Stetcher. Wilson's going to get there first. Wilson to the boards for Ovechkin. Orlov's long drive sizzled wide of Greiss in the cage tonight. Alex Nedeljkovic backing him up. Zadina hits the throttle, 2-on-2 on the curling drag. He snapped it wide. Vanacek was there with a glove.
That was quite the curl and drag because he waited, and the sliding Orlov thought he could get it with his stick, and he curled it right around the outreached arm of Dmitri. Quite the play there to create a shot.
Whenever the guys do that, I think Mario S.
Yes.
Ovechkin splits the seam now, trying to beat two defenders. He's knocked down, and a penalty call comes up. And Washington's power play has been potent tonight. A 2-1 Caps advantage. Back with a 5-on-4 man advantage after these words.
Hockey game right now, but Scott O'Neill, you've got a chance for the power play. It's clipped twice tonight. What have you liked about your man advantage this evening?
Well, you know what, even before this game, we were getting some real good looks, and it just wasn't going in. Tonight, we're capitalizing. Our puck retrievals has been great, and that's, I know Foz has been stressing that an awful lot, and both goals, it was us being hungry and getting that puck back.
Scott, thank you so much.
All right, you bet.
Stetcher gone for the trip, giving Ovechkin, Kuznetsov, and the Capitals man advantage unit their third opportunity on the night. Hronek rips it off the boards and down to Vitek Vanacek.
That was a good face-off by Rasmussen. 6'6", 229. Won it back cleanly, taking some serious ticks off this power play.
Red Wings beat the Hawks back on Sunday. Rasmussen won 7 of 13 draws. He's at 52% this season. Sherry getting top power play time. Plays it back for Ovechkin. This way to Carlson. John sets up the operation. Moves for Kuznetsov. He'll coordinate. Pad save Greiss. Big rebound to Ovechkin. Carlson looking things over. Alex waiting for a seam to develop. It's deflected about 10 rows into the seats. Folks, Burke and Herbert Bank there once again donating $100 for every Caps goal scored to a deserving local nonprofit organization. They're supporting children in our community. This season, Scores for Kids recipient Grandin Volve, a Fairfax, Virginia-based organization placing volunteers in local Title I elementary schools, helping students and their teachers. Bravo once again to Burke and Herbert Bank.
Great people, and they always do great things, and we're so happy to have them on board once again this season.
Kuznetsov trying to get the draw back. Gagne will sprint down the flank. Gagne winds and fires right to the gut of Vanacek, and he'll squeeze.
Pretty good speed there by the veteran. 893rd game, turned on the heat and got a good slap shot away. I like the way Vanacek was able to gobble that up.
Sam Gagne, son of Dave, former NHLer.
His dad played for 7 different teams in over 900 games. That's a good veteran play by Gagne.
You and I were doing the same homework because I was going to sit there and go, I really don't remember Dave finishing up with Vancouver in '99.
I don't remember that either.
That's where it ended. De Kaiser will give some ground. Red Wings a man down for another 45 seconds with Stetcher in the sin bin. Gagne, leave it on the wall. Sherry there, hoping for Kuznetsov. Yevgeny set to ride back out with Sherry through center as he'll accelerate at the attacking line. TJ Oshie. Bookended along the wall there by Stevens, as well as Stahl. Carlson will close in. Fake the blast. Kuznetsov operating. Yevgeny Kuznetsov slips it back for Carlson. Rister through traffic, blocked. Good screen in front of Greiss. He reacted late.
Playing man-on-man just about on Ovechkin, making sure he isn't able to unleash the one-timer. They're just about in his grill, and that's why, like on the first power play goal he scored, he was moving up and down. They're a little stationary, allowed pretty good coverage on the OV's office.
Capitals now 2 for 3 on the man advantage this evening. Just one shot on that last power play as Schultz works back. Justin had a power play goal in the season opener against the Rangers here. Mantha, 2-time 20-goal scorer with the Red Wings, able to clear it in. Anthony wears 39 in red now for Washington. Came to town via that big deal involving the now injured Jacob Vrana, who we wish well. Mantha settles, turns a corner. Mantha bottled up by Hronek. Move it around, play it for Schultz. Long wrister deflected to the front of the goal. Just wide there of Grice. Eller gets pinched to the boards by Letty. Mantha on the retrieval, back for Schultz. Problem was Rasmussen was too close by. 4 players in that scrum. We're back to 5-on-5. Eller comes out of there with a biscuit. Schultz working on the outside for Wilson. That centering pass clicks right in there on Grice, and he'll cover.
What do you want from your sportsbook? The best odds? Same game parlays you can boost for even more? You want to live your bet life.
Alex Ovechkin in conversation with Blaine Forsythe there at the Washington bench.
I'm sure going over that last power play. He's in charge of the power play is Blaine. Does a great job. The last decade, this Caps team right near the top every single year.
Red Wings of late, they've been involved in a lot of wide open kind of games. I want to say their last 4 have been decided by at least 3. Stepping into this 1-goal affair right now after a strike from Ernie. Ernie from Hronek and Nemesnikov at 9:17, chopping Washington's lead in half. Caps with a couple of power play goals. Caps have been a team that's been tremendous. 5-on-5 even strength so far in this young season.
Talk about that, Ottawa. They had 7 5-on-5 goals. That hasn't happened in a long time in Caps history.
Jensen plays it on through. Hathaway steers it in there. Grice will settle. Playing catch with DeKaiser. Sharp looking breakout there, but just coughed up at the center line. 19-11. Washington has the shots on goal advantage. Faravari stubbed his pass. Back come the Wings on the entry. It's Fabry. Fires. He missed the top corner. Big rebound all the way back to center. That's Mark Stahl, number 18. He's Eric's little brother. He's Jordan's big brother of the Stahl family. Zadina goes down low. Carlson comes over. Fabry takes him to the dasher.
Actually a good move by Steve Yzerman to bring in a veteran like Stahl, considering the youngsters they have in the lineup.
And they have several more youngsters in the pipeline. This Detroit team is going to be stacked defensively before too long. On the move, Eller. Send it out there. Sherry trying to get to the inside on Stetcher. No sail. Stahl with a quick reversal. Caps had that sniffed out. No harm done, however, as Zadina waltzes back through center. Zadina trying to get to the outside. LaPierre was in his skating lane. Schultz with open space and a corridor down the wing. Schultz angled by Rasmussen, who covers a lot of ground. On the boards, Letty jams at it. Pair of twos there. Schultz comes away for Washington. Wilson trying to dig it loose. As you see Hendricks Lapierre front and center. Officials letting the boys play as they battle on the boards. Red Wings bolting away with it. It's Rasmussen. At the line offside. Whistled against the Wings. Get you back for the final 3:51 of period number 2. With the Caps on the lead by 1. Set of pre-selected plans, or you can build your own schedule to see the Caps at Capital One Arena with a partial plan. Choose between a 5 or a 10 game plan. You'll receive discounted ticket prices, interest-free payment plans, and more. Visit washcaps.com/partials or jot this number down: 202-266-CAPS. Joe and Craig with you upstairs. Al Koken's the rinkside reporter. You see the face-off numbers thanks to the NHL Edge technology. NHL on NBC Sports Washington Plus and all around the country on NHL Network tonight. Caps opening a quick 2-game homestand with visits from the Wings and Coyotes. Washington at 4-0-2. Detroit 3-2-1. Sider off the takeaway, buzzed it right to the blocker of Vanacek, and he bunts the rebound wide.
Gloves and everything are in the corner. The whistle will not go unless you lose your mask.
He lost his blocking glove and his goalie stick.
And you can't blow the whistle only if the mask is lost from a goaltender.
Caps need to get it out. That would be a really uncomfortable way to set up when you have your bare right hand facing NHL shooters. Vanacek dabbing behind his left ear after that collision.
Man, I think they're asking the what for. Why wasn't it blown earlier? But here it is. Wilson trying to get it out. Goes right back to the D, who steps in. Here's that shot. Watch what happens in front there. He runs right into the forward and takes everything off his body there. That was Tyler Bertuzzi. He's the type of style of player he is. There's the stick, there's the glove, no whistle comes. Thank goodness a whistle finally did come about to the right of the Capitals netminder.
Back on Sunday when Lucas Raymond had that hat trick against the Blackhawks, Bertuzzi chimed in with a goal and 2 assists. Trying to beat Vitek Vanacek and tie this game up.
They're happy to have him back healthy. And Bertuzzi, he missed 47 games last season.
A season ago, the Red Wings finished in the 7th spot in the Discover Central Division. Caps out of the Mass Mutual East. Now back to normal in the Metro. Red Wings out of the Atlantic. First of 3 meetings between these two. Detroit's lone visit to the nation's capital comes tonight. Dowd bottled up in the corner. I swear to you, Locker, at morning skate today when Nick Dowd jumped on the ice, I didn't think he was going to play tonight. And then by the end of the practice, he was going full speed.
Well, he's a guy, that whole line did not miss a game last year. It's unusual for any of those guys to be nicked up.
Peter Laviolette electing to keep the 2 youngsters, McMichael and Lapierre, in the lineup and taking Daniel Sprong out for this evening's contest.
A lot of D-zone starts for the Dowd trio, including Dowd out there, usually as a second centerman to make sure defensively.
Lenny through the screen, gloved by Vanacek, and he'll hold. Folks, we have PenFed trivia for you this evening. This is a toughie. We need you to name the only 2 players with at least 60 goals with both the Caps and the Red Wings organization. So not 60 goals in a season, but cumulatively 60 goals in their careers with both the Caps and the Red Wings.
I have 1, and that's it. You better have the other.
I know we both have the 1, and I have a sneaky suspicion about the other.
Okay.
But for instance, Sergei Fedorov is not the answer. I don't believe he's included in the answer. Let's just say that.
I was thinking of Larry Murphy, and I don't think he's the answer either.
That's another good one. We'll get back to that. Thanks to our friends at PenFed again for sponsoring the trivia contests, which put Locker and I on our heels all the time.
Billy, thank you very much. I thought we were getting away without doing them this season.
Mantha on the clear, and 90 seconds left in the second period, separating us from Integrate Intermission Live. 2-1 hockey game. Zadina chasing it down. Zadina scoops it off the boards, and that hit a cap on the bench, so there's a whistle. Folks, we want to let you know about this Star Trek. It's all presented by Toyota.
And it's about the Russian duel of Ovechkin and Kuznetsov. They scored in the same game 5 times last season already. In just 7 games into the season, they've scored it 3 times when they've both been on the board. That's probably a good sign when you're looking at distances traveled. That guy right here in tonight's game. We talk about him skating all the time, and distance on the ice, over 14,000 feet he's traveled, way more than anybody tonight.
How surprising was it for the Caps to get 7 goals on the board at Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa, and Kuznetsov to not have a point? Closing in here, the pass for Bertuzzi's behind him. Wrapped up round and round with Jensen with 1 minute to go in the second. Eller trying to fidget it free. Raymond comes out of there. Sneaky pass delivery back to point position. De Kaiser lets it go. Deflected by Larkin and wide. The Red Wing captain was poised at the top of the paint. Bertuzzi, another swivel pass delivery. Answered and played away by Sherry. Sherry developing a 3-on-2 break. Trailers, Orlov, give and go. Tried to find Eller one more time, and then at the front door for Sherry. That was behind him. Bertuzzi on the go for Sider. He'll flex it into the corner. Faravari will reverse. Lars Eller awaits. 25th time in his career he's faced the Red Wings. Carlson ambles back through center with Faravari. 8 seconds to go in the period. Carlson looking out wide for Wilson. Wilson staved off quickly by Stahl and knocked down along the boards as the siren sounds, ending 2 periods.
Pretty good moving hockey game through 40. Not a whole lot of shots for the goaltenders, just 30 shots combined between the two clubs. But Kuznetsov and Ovechkin on the board, and because of that on the power play, they have a 2-1 lead.
Vitek Vanacek's had a lot of company with him around that Washington goal crease. Alex Ovechkin back on the score sheet, which has been the norm for him for, about 17 seasons. Ernie knocking one in for Detroit, makes it 2-1 after 2. Integrate, intermission live, it's all yours. We send it to the studio now, Alexa and Alan. Time for Chevron Human Energy featuring number 92.
Yeah, Evgeny Kuznetsov, some of the numbers we get to look at. He's had 13 shifts, 15:08 of ice time. He's got a goal. He's traveled over 2.5 miles, and he's had the puck 62 seconds. And fans might say, only 62 seconds? Yeah, that's considered a lot in the National Hockey League to actually have the puck on your stick. And he has been a going concern for the Detroit Red Wings, traveling a lot of miles.
Washington Capitals have 4 of the NHL's 37 Russian-born players at the outset of this season. Evgeny Kuznetsov and Alex Ovechkin on the board tonight. Adam Ernie for Detroit, making this a 2-1 contest. Third period unfolds. Washington will reconvene with Detroit November 11th at Little Caesars Arena. The Caps have won their last 4 trips to the Motor City. They've gone 8-0-1 in the last 9 games here against the Wings. Greiss in the goal to our left, Vanacek to our right. Greiss with 15 stops. Vanacek has 13 as the third period begins. Dylan Larkin will clear it in. He was lassoed by Carl Hagelin. Vitek Vanacek backed up by Ilya Samsonov tonight. Hronek at point position, lets it fly, and it's gloved by Vanacek.
Capitals have done a pretty good job against Larkin, Raymond, and Bertuzzi, really holding them to not too many high-quality chances. Larkin is the 37th captain in history of the Detroit Red Wings. Here's the play behind the net, trying to handle the puck, and here comes Orlov right into the frame, gets hit up high on the play by the goaltender, his own man, friendly fire.
Sorry.
But at least keeping the puck away from Larkin in particular. He has not had the puck as much as he probably wants here tonight.
Larkin, Bertuzzi, and Raymond combined for 10 points in Detroit's recent win over Chicago back on Sunday. Hronek at point position with help from Nemesnikov. This is boxed through and nearly a 2-on-1 for Kuznetsov. All of that was diffused by 30-year-old Nick Leddy, who hails from Minnesota. Bad clear there, but Kuznetsov not able to keep it in the zone. Third period begins 5-on-5. Ovechkin began the day with only Connor McDavid having more points than him in the NHL this season. Alex twists at the line, looks for Kuznetsov, bounces it into the corner. Wilson with a retrieval, cycle play, Kuznetsov getting fancy into his skates, glides to his backhand, right up the gut, turns, wraps, stopped by Greiss.
Another 8 seconds of possession time for Kuznetsov. He's got it going, man. I mean, I love that. We've seen it in the past, and now we're seeing it again. Exactly what they need at number 92.
Fabry was flattened along the wall. Oshie, who picked up an assist in this game tonight, able to clear it back out. Red Wings will send in. No running room again for Fabry. He kicks it from skate to stick, gets Stetcher involved, fires short side, shut down by Vanacek. Rebound, Oshie didn't clear. Ernie turns it right on. Rebound, they score. Fabry on the follow-up has tied it.
Fabry's got his second goal of the year. Good pressure. Blashill says Fabry has had an outstanding start to his season since day one. He's got a high compete level, and there you see the competing for the puck to the right side of the goaltender. Some good pressure from their line. With Zadina and company working down low, Suter, and they throw the puck to the net, and it's a follow-up before Faravari can get a hold of him. Down low is Mantha. They try to exit. They don't. And there's that quick shot. He turns the rebound to the shot immediately. Notice no puck handling. Gets it, even if it's a chunk of a shot. is able to beat the right leg of Vanacek. We're knotted up.
2 power play goals for Washington, 2 even strength goals for Detroit. With the NHL on NBC Sports Washington Plus and all around the country on NHL Network tonight. Stetcher outlasting the advances of Anthony Mantha. Rolls it to the corner, McMichael. Top side for a Van Riemsdyk drive. Jabbed away by Thomas Greiss. Oshie getting to the interior. Matched up there with 3 wings defenders. They'll clear. No icing. Van Riemsdyk, the New Jersey native, 30 years old, has assists in 4 of his first 6 this season. Gagne watching as Eller boots this one to the wing. Stevens was there for Detroit. Orlov gets it in gear. Dmitry Orlov at the line. This is offside against Washington.
Detroit making tough plays for the Caps, trying to enter the zone 5-on-5 in particular. They played a heck of a road game. They've had good coverage. They've had the 3rd man back, and it makes it very difficult to navigate. Fabry, the tying goal scorer moments ago.
Detroit splitting its first 2 on the road this season. As Orlov wires this one in from center, De Keyser kicks it back behind the cage. On the wall, Smith, Giovanni Smith, getting a jersey tonight from Coach Blashill. Quick centering pass. Greiss shut it down on the short side against Sherry, and he'll cover.
Fabulous stop by Thomas Greiss. He smelt that coming up the short side and able to get his whole body, the left side of his body, right over and tight to that net. And there was absolutely no room for Sherry to put it home. Very, very good stop right there for the 2-time German Olympian back in the day. Grubauer has been named to the German team already as one of the 3, along with Seider and Draisaitl.
Blocker, I know it's really early in the season, but Thomas Greiss so far in the 3rd period, save percentage, 97.
I don't like the sound of that.
Carlson, arm barred there by Leddy. Rasmussen clears it ahead. Nemesnikov takes it on the move, working to the outside. Faravari, beautiful skating to cut him off. At point position, it's Hronek. On the back pedal for Leddy. Leddy's slap pass. Rasmussen was handcuffed by that. Zadina dips one wide of the goal. 5-on-5 play nearing the 4-minute mark of the 3rd. Detroit's tied it after falling down by 2. This Karam to the cage, and alertly Vanacek waiting there with a goalie stick. Nemesnikov forcing Leddy back off the line with help from Kuznetsov as Zadina whirls in. Zadina on a little push-through move. Lets it fly. Had it blocked by Carlson. John Carlson fighting through the wash. Diving effort to make the pass. On the backhand. LaPierre stopped by Greiss. De Keyser laces this one back behind the Washington goal. Orlov will send it to Jensen, the former wing. Sherry, good look to LaPierre. LaPierre 2-on-2. Henrik LaPierre, snapshot was rejected. Rebound belongs to Detroit. The young defender, Seider, coughed it up. Moritz Seider gets it right back. German-born blue liner.
First ever German-born player to be drafted in the 1st round.
Taken number 6 overall in 2019. Jensen will settle, calming some things down as we near the 5-minute mark. Fabry from Ernie and Suter at 2:03, getting Detroit into this 2-2 tie. Eller weaves, looks for Sherry, had it deflected. Eller has a sharp angle. Fine save there by Greiss. Rebound bounce to the boards. Gagne takes it for a twirl. Sent to the dasher quickly. Golfed out by Stevens, and hurriedly it's Hagelin back on it for Washington.
The boys are working the dashers here in the 3rd period. Not a lot of room in the middle, but the battles along that dasher board could decide this fake game.
Capitals fans making noise now. Van Riemsdyk leaves it. Hathaway south of the goal line. Dowd in hot pursuit. Nick Dowd finds Hagelin. He'll bunt it right back to the board. Stevens there to short circuit that with 5.5 gone by in period 3. Schultz straight ahead for Dowd. Forced back by Stahl. Justin Schultz cross rink. Van Riemsdyk waits. Both teams are changing some personnel on the fly. Greiss waits for it to get into that trapezoid. Plays it on to Bertuzzi. He'll rake it ahead to Larkin. Larkin playing pinball there, trying to get it to the rookie Raymond. Bertuzzi pouncing on it. Play it back to the point. Hronek. Hronek settles. Keep it out wide, Raymond. Then Bertuzzi. transfers it back on top to Hronek. Stalked by Mantha. 5-on-5 play out of the corner for Larkin, who has great jets. Play it to the boards. Hronek. Tap it to Bertuzzi. Wrong siding there for Raymond, who needed to be lefty. It's 2-on-2 the other way. McMichael looking for his first NHL strike. Red Wings, good defensive work. Promptly out of their own zone with Bertuzzi one-on-one. On the crisscross now, looking for reinforcements. Feeds to Kaiser, fires. That took a bite out of TJ Oshie. McMichael late in his shift kicks it up to his forehand, and he'll delicately place it in there for Peter Laviolette to change him up on the go.
And Carlson, I think, was clipped up high, having a few choice words at the bench now, giving it to the referee with no call.
Referees Francis Chiron and Brandon Blandina tonight, as Wilson will swing with Nick Jensen. Jensen coughed it up. Nemesnikov keeps it on the woodwork. Zadina over skates. Red Wings will have to chase this one down. Grice waits for the turning stick of Seider, who's fourth on the Detroit list when it comes to points in this young season. Nemesnikov, headman's Rasmussen. That pass trying to find Zadina. Good back check from Wilson, who went crashing into the boards.
Inside position and good outreach by Wilson to take that puck away from Zadina, who had a lane to the net.
Zadina darting back behind the goal. Schultz there to quiet him down. Wilson to help, but not out yet. Almost 8 minutes into this third period, deadlocked at 2. Caps with goals from Ovechkin and Kuznetsov. Detroit with tallies from Ernie and Fabry. Caps completing a line change.
I haven't seen this team in, it seems like, 3 years, but they look a lot different than the last time we saw these Red Wings.
Stetcher on the clear in. Washington has mauled Detroit in recent seasons. On the go, Faravari closing in. Leddy able to stave him off. As Sherry works, lost it to his opposite 73, Adam Ernie, who has a goal and an assist tonight. Pius Suter rolls this one into the corner. You're going to get up close and personal there with John Carlson. 11:35 to go regulation. 2-2. Caps will get the day to prepare for Arizona tomorrow. Coyotes stroll on in for a Friday night tilt. Centering pass boxed aside by Vanacek. Ernie sends it down low. Waiting was Lars Eller for Washington, and he'll putter this one back to center.
Doesn't Arizona have a tough trip in? Don't they play the night before?
Against Tampa.
There you go.
We know how early that means you get into town.
Yeah.
By the time they get to their hotel, the Coyotes, it'll probably be close to 2 a.m. local time in D.C.
You'll probably be up waiting.
Of course.
You'll be just getting in.
I'll be there to greet them. At the line, offside against the Red Wings. 10:54 to go regulation. Detroit has tied it up at 2 in D.C.
Back and forth on both sides. Is that the way you want to finish this game off?
Not really. We want to play in the offensive zone. We're not getting the puck stopped defensively. They have some speed and some skill, and they're taking advantage of it. But once we get the puck stopped and get in the offensive zone and get our offensive zone game going, we'll be a lot better. But we got to start skating a little bit more.
All right, thanks to Blaine Forsythe.
Appreciate the cooperation from the Washington bench. Nicholas Backstrom, who remains on long-term IR, is in the house enjoying this game tonight. Detroit in the visiting white sweaters. Lucas Raymond finds Bertuzzi. A pass back to point position for Seider. Keep it on the outside to Larkin. Orloff and Hagelin tending to him as the Caps funnel this one back to center. Caps jumped out 2-0. If you're just tuning in with us, a couple of power play goals gave the host the lead. The Red Wings were undaunted, striking back with tallies from Ernie in the second and Fabry here in the third. Dick Kaiser shifting one towards the goal and hit the cross traffic. Bertuzzi looking for the loose puck, and Hagelin clears the biscuit back into the Detroit zone with enough pace to be icing.
I was talking earlier in this period, we talked about Kuznetsov and his puck possession, a minute 8. What they've done to Larkin, they've held him under a minute, and that's usually a good sign to try to beat this Detroit Red Wings team. He's only had the puck about 48 seconds. When he has the puck over a minute, that's when you know he's dangerous. He's still dangerous anytime, but man, when he has the puck, when that speed and explosive power makes him a game changer.
A shout out of thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew, as well as Kevin and Johnny Lyons, who are watching in Baltimore tonight. with the NHL on NBC Sports Washington and the NHL Network. Halfway home in the third. It's a 2-2 game. Orlov ran right into Nemesnikov. Jensen quieting some things down. Rasmussen there to tend to him. Dmitry Orlov. Solid partnership with Jensen. They try to spring Kuznetsov from the angle. He zipped it high. The rebound will chase the Caps back to center.
It's amazing. He was even able to get his stick on that wicked shot up the middle pass about 3 feet high. He's able to knock it down, just about had himself a breakaway.
Caps working their regroup through center. Wilson sends it out wide. Kuznetsov to the front. Ovechkin in tight! Off the outside of the post. Greiss was waiting. That looked like it caught the frame of the pipe. Either way, the captain turned away. There is a penalty call to come. Get you back for more in Washington. Heating up in D.C.
Ovi, and we'll take a look at this a second time because you're going to see the puck hit the post on our overhead. But Rasmussen, probably a good penalty right here. He lifts up the stick of Ovi. He's unable to follow up and jam in the rebound. And because of the hook by the big centerman, Ovi and the Caps go to the power play.
Ovechkin points in all 7 games this season. Carlson fakes, feeds it on the outside. Man advantage time for the Caps. A little bit more than 9 minutes with which to work in the third. Sherry has seen a lot of power play time tonight. The Caps score man advantage. Ow! Ovechkin decked a Red Wing from the outside. Slow to get back up. It's Mitchell Stevens. Ovechkin at point position, playing the 2-man game on top. Carlson is funneled to the interior. Closing. Big slapper, stick save. Greiss on Kuznetsov.
We're playing against 7 legs instead of 8 legs now. Stevens is smarting.
Our friends at Sport Radar remind us Detroit top 3 in the league when it comes to block shots. Hold it for a Carlson blast that he fakes. Kuznetsov, 113 in the man advantage. Sherry, it bounced over his blade. Oshie keeps it alive.
A lot more movement in the alignment. Ovi's now playing in Carlson's spot. Carlson's where Ovi is.
Kuznetsov feeds. Sherry tried to look away pass, and it bounced and dribbled right to Greiss.
And Sherry looks up to the roof here at Capital One Arena. Can't believe that puck bounced on him, and there you see his frustration. Here's the block shot from an Ovi blast. Right on that right leg on a wicked blast by Mitchell Stevens. Takes the most of that. Here in the middle of the ice, Oshie is upended, no call. 3 guys all around him, making sure he doesn't get that bumper shot away. Stevens is still smarting.
Just a little bit past the midway mark of this man advantage. The Caps shuffling things up a bit. Schultz and Ovechkin in back. Mantha, Eller, and Wilson now the power play forwards. This is Lars Eller creeping out of his own zone, but he lost his balance there.
And that's the lineup that the Caps had when Ovechkin struck on the power play.
Lars elevates this for Mantha. Anthony Mantha racing through center. Mantha works it out wide. Wilson was tied up. Mantha gets it back. Schultz this way. Ovechkin fires. Glove save. Greiss.
I think he knew it was coming. Over the years, he's faced Ovi quite a bit, and that catching glove right out there. Nobody in front of Greiss, and Ovi sort of higher than normal in his office. Right side of the screen, there's Ovi, there's the shot, and Greiss read it perfectly. No chance for Eller to get in front and crisscross in front, take away his eyes. One more look. Good job by the defenseman, making sure he doesn't nick that puck going to the net.
Oshie, Eller, Kuznetsov, Carlson, and Ovechkin out there. Final 20 seconds on the man advantage for Washington. 7.5 to go in the third of a 2-2 game.
And Ovi, quite the shift over 2 minutes already.
Carlson breezing into the zone. John Carlson met there by Hronek. Help comes from Stevens. Greiss gets involved. Hronek blasts it around the glass and out. 2 shots for Washington on the power play that fizzles. It remains a 2-2 game. Dmitry Orlov, very durable defender for Washington. On to Hagelin. He'll touch this deep. Greiss playing with Seider, working on around, and the Red Wings will send it all the way. This should be icing against the Red Wings.
Capitals giving them no breathing room along the wall outside the dots, taking that away from Blashill's club, who's played a very good road game. Dimitri and company doing a good job. The Blue Liners, all but one, currently does not have a goal, and that's TVR. They've been all chipping in on the blue line.
Bertuzzi awaiting this defensive zone draw. Part of Jeff Blashill's top line. Dylan Larkin trying to win the draw as you get the perspective of Grice from the Detroit cage. Stealing it there for Washington was Sherry. Orlov sweep it out wide. Jensen long range, chested down by Grice. The rebound skated to safety by Sider.
Oshie's taking a beating, hanging out in those hard areas. He's been down and out 3 or 4 times in front of their net. They're making sure they take away number 77 here tonight.
Dangerous Lucas Raymond out there for Detroit, now 23 in the white. McMichael works in, steps wide and fires, missed the target. That'll chase Orlov back into his own zone. Locker, did you see that cool note on Lucas Raymond after his hat-trick Sunday? The last teenager for the Wings with a hat-trick was
Steve Eisenman,
1985.
And what I even like better than that is the last 4-point guy, Mr. Howe, was on that small group. That's pretty impressive for a young rookie like that. Anytime you're on a Howe list, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good company.
Yes.
Stetcher through center. Less than 6 minutes to go in the third. Fans inside of Capital One Arena enjoying a good game in Washington tonight. The Caps let a 2-goal advantage slip away. We have 5:40 left in regulation to settle matters, or perhaps more. Stetcher to go through center. Bangs that one off the glass. That's up in the safety netting for the whistle. Two-2 hockey game, 5:33 to play. TV timeout means we'll see you on the other side of the break. Thank you, friends. Our Caps post-game live will be presented by your DC area Accurate dealers. Once we settle matters between Washington and Detroit. 5:15 to go. If you're just jumping on board with us, tallies from Ovechkin and Kuznetsov for Washington. Ernie and Fabry for the visiting Wings. Nemesnikov sidesteps Kuznetsov. 92 on 92 defense there. Leddy sends it down low. Kuznetsov's all around it. Yevgeny strong on his stick, able to put it back into the Red Wing zone, and this will be icing against Washington. Time to close the book on PenFed trivia. Earlier tonight, Locker, we asked who are the only 2 players with at least 60 goals combined, both as Red Wings and Caps.
We both had Dino.
Yes.
I thought it could have been Murphy, but I think you've got the answer.
Guy Chiron, I hope.
Let's take a look. There's
Dino is the first one.
Over 100 with each club.
Drum roll, please. The answer is yes.
Wow. More goals with the Caps, and Detroit just about doubled. Nicely done by Guy. A nice guy. One of the nicest guys.
People might have been thinking Fed. People might have been thinking maybe Mike Green.
That's another good one that I forgot about. You're right.
You put it, the best one that I forgot about was Murph. As Kuznetsov stays face down on the ice. Fans booing. Yevgeny Kuznetsov with his hands to his face. Athletic trainer Jason Service getting out there to help.
He was going one-on-one with the defender, and we'll see what happens. Let's take a look. Kuzi, here he is along the wall. Gets hit on an angle and goes along the wall here, and you're going to see the stick of the trainer look like maybe passing a stick or something. Joe got caught right in his face.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
See, isn't it the trainer? See, he's passing it to the forward who's looking for his stick that he lost right in the neutral zone that was laying on the ice. So it's actually the trainer on the bench that caught Kuzi in the face.
I'm saying you may never ever see that again.
And you can't call him for a minor penalty. Here it is along the wall. Here comes the trainer reaching out to give it to Larkin, who broke his stick in the neutral zone. This is never going to happen again. And he's not even looking who's coming down the wall, and there's the stick clipping him right in the jaw.
Excellent detective work by all the men and women in our technical crew, including birthday boy tape operator Zach Lyons. Happy birthday from all of us.
And happy birthday to Brian McClellan.
Rice, general manager, former Red Wing in the early 90s, also celebrates his birthday today.
I'm glad he's way older than I am. Am I allowed to say that?
That's a shot. Mark Stahl bunts this one to the corner. Fabry didn't get it out. Nick Dowd for Washington. As bodies continue to fly, Hathaway picks himself up off of the ice. Here's a send in for Fabry from the angle. No worries for Vitek Vanacek. Fabry has the game-tying goal here in the third period. It came very early on. 2:03 into the stanza. Schultz spins. Watch out in prime real estate there as Van Riemsdyk will clear. 3:45 left in the third. Sider. Long advance comes on through Ernie. No icing here. You'll watch Jensen turn. Orlov powering through center. Wilson closing. Looks for Ovechkin. Red Wings defense swarming him.
And Kuzi just fine. He's right out this next shift and just flying.
Gagne clears it in. Bertuzzi there at the top of the forecheck. Against Jensen. Help comes from Orlov. Orlov rumbling his way through center. Kuznetsov drags it out wide to Ovechkin. Alex Crosslink on the button. Grice with a glove save on Wilson.
He's got his catcher going tonight against the Caps. That's like the third stop right into the catching mitt. Thomas Grice. He's been the game saver for the Detroit Red Wings. Beautiful entry once again. Ovi to Wilson. That baby might have been going wide when you look at it one more time. But it doesn't matter. Grice makes sure he gets a hold of that puck and takes it away from Tom Wilson.
Locker when time allows for young hockey players. That pass from Ovechkin was a missile. How do you quiet that down like Wilson did?
Number one, you got to have your stick on the ice, because if you have it up, by the time you put it down, it's gone. So you've got to have your stick on the ice at all time, and you've got to catch and release as quickly as possible, which is exactly what Willie did. And you've got to sort of bring it in like you would catching a baseball.
Soft hands. Impressive. 2:40 to go. 2-2 hockey game. Back through center. Zadina. Stick handling in. Fires. Missed it on the short side with a shrug from Vitek Vanacek.
He had everything covered on that short side. No chance for him to beat him over the right shoulder.
Shots on goal are 26-21 in favor of Washington. Nemesnikov finds Stetcher. Stetcher waits. 27-year-old native of British Columbia. 70 in the white. Played it on through. At the line, Oshie was there to defend. Larkin and Raymond in the vicinity for Detroit. A backpedaling Schultz picks up Van Riemsdyk. Trevor Van Riemsdyk, with Schultz's aid, plays it on to Oshie off of Oshie's boots. Bertuzzi curls right back in, fires. A stick save for Vanacek. 1:50 to go in regulation. Larkin snares. Tumbles this one into the corner. TJ's there first for Washington. Gonna get help from Connor Sherry on the clear. Back through center, Eller. Then Sherry full speed. Deeks to the interior. Hronek stays with him. Backhand chance. Stopped by Grice.
Again with that catching that he threw it up in a hurry and just cuffed it away in front of the net.
Jensen speeds out of his own zone. Orlov getting wide. Throws one to the front. It came on through. Hagelin waits south of the goal line to Kaiser with a defense on Hathaway. His centering pass. Nobody home. Back come the Wings. Ernie playing chip and chase to himself. Cut off there by Vanacek. 1:05 to go in the third. Slot pass. That drive's deflected. Dowd and Jensen on the job defensively. Red Wings digging in on the forecheck. Ernie's played a strong game tonight. Hagelin able to clean.
And on that play, real strength there also by Dowd. Ernie was all over him, trying to rip him off of that biscuit.
Final minute on the go. Fabry. Fabry lets this one fly wide of the cage. Zadina towards the net. Stick save Vanacek. 40 ticks remaining in regulation. Wilson opens up through center on the crisscross with Ovechkin. Ovechkin bottled up by Leddy. Leddy makes the takeaway.
And Leddy's seen that a time or two, and he was right in his grill. He didn't want to give him that time whatsoever to get that puck. The Capitals with a chance. Thomas Greiss the difference here in the third. They've had the better looks. Here it is on the overhead. Connor Sherry just about weasels his way around the D, and in comes TJ and doesn't get it over the catching mitt. Nice work on Hronek by Sherry, and there's the backhander that just doesn't go. That would have been the game-winning goal for sure for TJ.
35-year-old Greiss backed up by 25-year-old Nedeljkovic in the Detroit cage this season. Greiss has performed admirably tonight with 25 stops and counting. Very late in regulation, Kuznetsov sneaks in right to the paint. Loose puck picked up by the Detroit defense. Hronek didn't get it out. Carlson keeps it alive, 13 seconds to go. Ovechkin leaves Kuznetsov to the front, again through the goal crease. Taken on the run. Moving it out, down the flank, Nemeshkov, long drive, glove save, Vanacek, as he'll hold with 0.5 seconds to play.
Good speed on both flanks for these teams playing against each other tonight. It's been a speedy game, very few face-offs. Last game in Ottawa, there were 71 draws, and it just sort of slowed it down, it seemed. I know there was 12 goals and all, but tonight, a fast-paced team as Blashill gives final words to his line going out there. I think he's asking for more time on the clock. I'm not sure he's going to get it.
Blashill and Larkin leading that conversation in front of the Detroit bench. Peter Laviolette and his squad seeing just a half a second to play in regulation.
And here comes Greiss. They'll dress 6 guys up front. Pull Greiss because of the time left on the clock. You're not going to be able to rifle it down in time.
This is not like basketball where it would have to be out of your hand before time expires. In this case, it would have to be across the goal line completely before 0-0-0.
It's happened before.
Dowd, Washington's best at the faceoff dot, digs in. They tie up for it. The horn sounds. 60 minutes are complete. And once again on home ice, Vitek Vanacek and the Capitals need to go to sudden victory. It'll be overtime on a Wednesday night. A 2-2 hockey game. From the opening draw, the power play for Washington looked fierce. But Detroit rallies. Overtime is next. Locked at 2 apiece. This evening's Powerful Connections brought to you by Xfinity X5. The Caps not doing well in overtime here.
I didn't like that one right off the draw. Stamkos all the way down. Here's Lindholm going hard to the net. Beautiful pass by Johnny Hockey for his 500th point. Lindholm finishes off the overtime with the Hattie, and his Flames were victorious.
Brought to you by Xfinity X5, internet that's more than just fast. Things will happen fast in the 3-on-3 overtime. That suits Robbie Fabry just fine. Fabry tied things up in the third period from Ernie and Suter. Alex Ovechkin gave Washington the lead late in the opening period. Kuznetsov would follow with an early second period power play strike, but since then, Washington has gone dry offensively. Vitek Vanacek at one end, Thomas Greiss at the other. Capitals had a late chance in the third to win it, perhaps. Ovechkin chipping one past Greiss that rang off the post. Kuznetsov, Ovechkin, Carlson for DC. Fabry, Rasmussen, and Leddy for Detroit.
Huge drop by Kuzi. Rasmussen lost that cleanly. It's usually Dowder that usually starts in overtime often to win the draw and then pull it back. There, Kuzi, a lot of confidence from the coaching staff, wins it as clean as day.
Greiss giving Washington an offensive zone draw here.
And they won't let him change because it was on this side of center that they dumped to Greiss. You have Detroit trying to change, Blashill trying to send out a D. He cannot do it because of the stoppage of play of their goaltender.
Yevgeny Kuznetsov's won 10 of 18 tonight, as you can tell on the screen, thanks to the Edge technology. Jamming with Rasmussen, and this comes away for Detroit. Fabry going to leave it for Leddy. Nick Leddy cruising through center. It's Fabry on the crisscross with Rasmussen. Fabry elects to swing. Gaining momentum for Rasmussen, stalled by Ovechkin. Alex Ovechkin, 24 overtime game winners in regular season play in his magnificent career.
Rasmussen standing still, Joe. You can't be standing still 3-on-3. You got to be moving. You've got to be crisscrossing. You've got to generate speed through crossovers. He was standing still. That's why Ovi took care of him.
This guy will generate speed.
Yeah.
Larkin through center. Larkin full blast the attacking line. Larkin looking back to point position. Sider, then Raymond. Raymond closes, feeds. Good read there defensively by Schultz.
That was a game saver because they created a 2-on-1 down low. Ovi and Kuzi have been out for over a minute right now. They haven't been able to change.
Sider going to bring it back out. And under control, Detroit with possession. Washington still can't change its personnel.
The door was open, but they couldn't get there.
Raymond forced back by Kuznetsov. Lucas Raymond crossing over through center. Darting into the attack zone. Feeds Larkin. Larkin curling. Drag! He scores! Dylan Larkin makes it 3 straight for Detroit and a 3-2 win.
Well, Dylan Larkin didn't have the puck too much, as I was mentioning, but he gets it once, and you made the thought that, yeah, he can bring speed, and he did. And I thought the Caps were too long out there. They were stuck out there for over a minute and a half, and Larkin, their captain, throws a dart through the defender. Here it is, starting up the middle. A good play overall by the youngster Raymond. Kicks it wide, and watch him use Schultz as a screen. He pulls it into his feet and then fires it. And you'll see Vitek not pick it up. And it goes right under his glove over the left pad. And Larkin celebrating his game winner, a wicked wrister that beats Vitek.
1:37, the time of the extra session. Celebration all around for the visiting Red Wings. They improve to 4-2-1. Washington falls to 4-0-3. All 3 of those OTLs in this barn. Folks, this evening's crossover is brought to you by WebEx by Cisco as we send it to the studio and Alan May.